So today our topic is friction. Okay, so friction is a force which opposes relative motion. Okay, so let's take a body having mass m and it will ground. So if we apply force in this direction, then friction force will act on it in opposite direction. Okay, so friction opposes relative motion. So why I say relative motion? Because if we take another body m and upon this we have a body m and it is the ground. Okay, so if this body is moving with acceleration a and this body is moving or otherwise we apply only force on this body, F force, and it is moving with acceleration a, then this body will want to remain in rest, and therefore the friction force will act between these two bodies and it will oppose relative motion. Okay, so friction force is an electromagnetic force. It opposes relative motion between any two bodies which are in motion, and your friction force also follows the Newton's second law. So if a friction force on this body acts due to this body, then a friction force will also act on this body due to this body. Okay, so the friction force always form a pair. Okay, so now friction force is the tangential component of net acting force on any body. So if we have this body m, okay, and if no any unbalanced force acts on it, then the net force acting on it will be mg. It will be downward, the gravity force, we all know that. So the net force acting on this body is mg. Okay, so the friction force will be the tangential component to this force mg. Okay, so this is your basic friction. Now friction force are of two types. The first is static friction and the second is kinetic friction. Okay, so let's take an example. We have a box, okay, and we are applying force on it. We come across that if we apply a lesser force, then the body will not move. But if we apply more and more force, then at some point of time the body will start to move. Okay, so we have two types of frictions: static friction and kinetic friction. If we apply force and it is not moving, then that means the acting force is friction force, and that is static friction. And if the body starts to move, then the another type of friction called static friction acts. Okay, so what if we apply more force? What if we let's take this body. If we apply 1 Newton force, it is not moving. If we apply 2 Newton force, it is not moving. If we apply 3 Newton force, it is also not moving. So what is static friction? You got it? Means if we change the quantity of applied force and the body is not moving, then the static friction does not remain constant. Static friction changes itself as per the force applied on this body. Okay, so static friction acts on any body when the body is in rest. Okay, and it is self-adjusting. How much force we apply, the static friction increases. Okay, so this is static friction. It is self-adjusting, and the kinetic friction, it is not self-adjusting, it is fixed. Okay, it is fixed. And in our next video we will deal with both these types of frictions. Thank you.